Good afternoon. Welcome to Shots with Devin, interactive photography lessons on the radio. How do we do that? How are we going to have photography lessons on the radio? Actually, it's very easy. We're just going to tie in with my website, devinshots.com, and you can actually follow along with the radio show online. We have several images that are posted to the website that will enable you to look at what we're talking about and have an interactive visual experience with the radio show. If you're driving and you can't watch your computer while you drive, we hope you're not going to do that. What we're doing to make this available is we are recording these sessions on videotape, and the video will be posted on the website, devinshots.com. Just so you know, Devin is spelled D-E-V-I-N, Devin Shots, one word, devinshots.com. And you'll be able to watch the video through the website, and again, follow along with the images that we have presented on there. The idea of this show is to have everybody have a better time with their photography. Take the mystery out of photography and put the fun back into it. Come up with ways to take better pictures of your families and your vacations, things like that. The format of our show is going to be based primarily on questions from you, the listeners. You can email me your questions. If you go to devinshots.com, follow the links to the WTBQ area. There's a section on there where you can submit questions. And you can ask questions about anything that has to do with photography at all. What type of camera, how to use the camera, how to take better pictures of the kids, how to do vacation photographs, anything. It's best if you can include photographs. Send me your pictures. You'll get a better chance of getting on the show. We'll show some pictures later. You might hear some noise in the studio. We have a co-host with us. Every week we're going to have a co-host. In most cases, they'll be high school students who are studying photography in their high school. This week our student is a senior at Warwick High School. His name is Drew Schaefer. Drew, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, Devin.
Glad to have you with us. How long have you been studying photography in high school, Drew?
Basically my whole time in high school. I started with my sophomore year, so the last 3 years I've been doing photography.
Okay. When you said the whole time in high school, I was thinking 6 or 7 years. You're on the 7-year plan, right?
Oh, yeah.
What is your favorite type of photography, Drew? When you take your own pictures, is it portraits? Is it landscapes? What do you like to do?
Well, one of my favorite things is definitely portraits, but then my all-time favorite thing is macro photography, taking pictures close-up of things.
Macro photography, that's interesting. You can do some interesting things with macro. In most cases, macro photography, like you just described, they're extreme close-ups. In most cases, the lens is very close to the subject. On most newer cameras, there's a button or a dial or a menu item that has a little picture of a flower on it. Have you seen that on cameras before?
Yeah, mine has it on it.
Yeah. So that's an automatic setting that the camera has for macro photography, and that enables you to get your lens very close to the subject, and it focuses on a very narrow plane, so you get that real great blurry background. Drew is a good photographer. He's got some excellent images, and we're going to discuss some of his photos later. They're on the website, devinshots.com, and later on in our show we're going to pull a couple of them up, and we're going to have a conversation about your photos. The first segment of the show, I like to talk about experiences that I've had in my photography, and maybe lessons that we can learn from these different experiences. Recently, I did a photo shoot with a high school girl. Drew, you're in high school. Tell me this. How do most of the kids that you go to school with, how do most of them feel about their yearbook photos?
Many of them aren't too happy with them. I know I myself am.
Why are you not happy? What's the story?
You're not usually getting what you want. You always go with the photographer wants, and they take many different shots. Most of it seem to be exactly the same thing, and then you're not able to change it later on if you want the thing.
Yeah. There's a reason for these yearbook photos, and the book has to have some continuity, and they're documentary type photographs. So there's a need for that. But I've noticed the same thing, that many of the high school seniors are looking for something different, something to remember your experience with, something a little bit more creative. So I've been doing that with some of the high school seniors. We actually go on location and we do portfolio shoots, I call them, where you can have several different changes of outfit, where shooting in different locations, creating a whole different look to your photos and creating a portfolio for you. So I recently did one with a girl named Samantha. She's a high school girl. And with every portrait session that I do, I always interview the people first. I like to get to know you a little bit, find out who you are, and try to incorporate some of your personality into the portrait session. So when I was interviewing Samantha, I found out she loves animals, particularly horses. So I suggested to her mother, let's see if we can find a stable or a horse farm nearby, and we can use that as the location for Samantha's portfolio. So her mother went to one farm, asked if we could shoot for an hour or two there, and they said no. Insurance reasons, they wouldn't let us shoot. So that was a little disappointing. But she found another one right here in Warwick, this great little farm owned by Henry and Janet Vanderplaat. And I just wanted to mention how nice they were to us. They have this great little horse farm, they stable some horses, and they completely opened up to us. Let us have a run of the place. Henry collects these beautiful horse carriages from Poland. He actually pulled one out and let us use it as a prop. And there's a picture of Samantha on the website, devinshots.com. If you go into the teens gallery, the teen model gallery, she's in there with an image of her on the horse carriage. We had a great time there. We shot in several locations, and it brings us to the lesson. How do you do location shoots? How do you take good pictures on location? Many times people will go on vacation. They're going to Disney World. And if you look at your collection of photos, you'll probably see pictures where there's a whole lot of Disney World and little tiny pictures of the people in your family. You guys have pictures like that at home?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a common problem. Here's the lesson. When you go on vacation, be aware of your background. You don't have to have the whole story in the background. The subject of your photo is the people, your family. So use part of the background to imply where you are. If you look at the picture of Samantha on the website, you can see she's on a horse carriage, but it's not the whole carriage. If you go to Disney World, just have part of the sign in the background, or have part of the castle, or have something that lets the viewer know, okay, they're at Disney World, but really the picture is of my family. Fill the frame, imply the location. That's the lesson for location photography. Drew, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about your photos.
All right, awesome.